Yeah, hey mate. So let's have a look here. Sol BTC. You talked about I usually make the bullish comparisons. You definitely can make them in a bearish manner. You can flip apexes upside down and use that as a bearish apex. But yeah, let's have a look here. Bearish compression. Yeah, we compressing bearishly. Well, we are, we are green on the quarter here, so there is higher lows, and green on the quarter is trying to move higher. Technically it's bullish as long as you hold above the quarterly open. Right, so if we draw that trend line right there, just there at the open, we can I'll just check out a few other time frames here. So it's still green on the 6 month as well, of course. Now here's the kicker. It's flipped red on the year, just about. You can see it's formed a yearly doji, but it is also a bearish yearly stop hunt. That should be taken note of, right? That definitely is important, and that is the reason why we've dropped right back down here, or at least fell back to the open at this point. So let's just flip down now to a monthly. My internet, yeah, my internet has been funny all night. So it's still compressing. Very tight range. You can see this range here. This is your yearly bearish stop hunt up here. This is your drop. This is a bullish monthly stop hunt down here. This is your bullish quarterly. But I'm going to take this. If I move this to here, you can see we are in a range from this stop hunt to this stop hunt, right? That forms a tight range. That's a monthly stop hunt versus a yearly. Now I'm going to move this up again because there is technically, this is a bullish stop hunt right here. So we have now squeezed the range and tightened the range, kind of meaning that a break below here, and if we break out above the top end of the range, that would be a breakout, and we should run a lot higher. So a break of this range is the important thing in the longer term. I just want to skip back here to a quarterly chart. Personally, from looking at this, I would probably say that this has a good chance of forming some sort of small candle. Right? It's not easy to read. I could be wrong on that, but it looks something like that. And if it's going to be bullish, then it might do that later. I don't think it's ready to rip to the upside. Is this really going to form a bullish engulfing candle right back up? If this forms a bullish engulfing candle right back up, well then Sol is just going to rip to the upside. It's going to start testing these highs. There is the you could long right now with a tight stop below the open and see if it can run. Well, I wouldn't do that. I would wait and trade a new 2-week candle on that. Anyway, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's just break it down. It's a very messy chart. Like you can see right back here, it formed a very similar pattern. See the way you got the doji down here and you get this one candle higher? Well, we're sitting here right in the same spot. If this gets that, if this is that candle, this could be, see this doji and a doji, and what happens next? Well, you create this large green candle, right? So we may be in the process of creating that large green candle, and if we create that candle to there, well then, we know what happened last time. I mean, this is a bit of a blueprint over here. What could possibly happen, because price could then run to the upside, back into the previous highs. So, as you can see, if this pattern is to follow this pattern, well, this can be in a bullish range. I mean, you can consider this bullish as long as it stays above the open. There's your monthly open right here. So as long as it's going to stay above the monthly open, you can consider this bullish. If it does flip back down below the monthly open, well then something else is happening. Sorry, that's a 2-week, but it is also the monthly. Okay, the 2-week, I like the 2-week because we have a new 2-week candle in 3 days time. So I was a bit wrong about that. I thought it was on the monthly chart there. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been up trying to finish off that indicator all night, so I'm probably a bit tired right now. But yeah, So yeah, bullish above this monthly. I would trade the new 2 week on it. So yeah, on the weekly chart here, you know, technically this is a giant pressure cooker pattern, and it's got the red 200 here. Overall, the pattern is generally bullish. That should break up. You know, once you reclaim the white 100 in a pressure cooker, it becomes bullish. Pressure cookers are actually bearish patterns, but when you break to the upside and form above the white 100, you can get these large moves to the upside. So technically it's still bullish overall, but of course you're talking about the 4-hour trend and the short-term trend. So if I flip to the daily chart here, you know, if I probably could draw a very rough diamond. I'm not saying it's perfect or anything, but there's a bit of a diamond formation, as you can see there. If I zoom out, it might be a little bit clearer. It's rough, but I would watch for a break of that as well. You know, the white 100, you know, if this breaks out to the upside, the white 100 is going to come down underneath price. Technically that's bullish, because if the white 100 comes down underneath price, all these moving averages are going to come down underneath price and can start to support the price to potentially move higher. Of course, if it breaks to the downside, well, then all those bets are off. If it fails here and does break to the downside of the pattern, well, it's going to be below all moving averages, and then obviously it could fail and roll higher. But you know, at this point it is above the 3-month open, it is above the monthly open. I think it's above the 2-week open, but there's a new 2-week candle. Yeah, we had the 2-week doji. So there's still and there's this diamond pattern that is tempting to break up. We have the comparison of here, you know, we have this doji here that then pushes higher. This doji is trying to push higher. Is it going to push higher in the next 3 days? You know, anything can happen at the weekend. You know, if this has a few more percent, just let's check that actually. You know, if this is a 5% bounce here, 5 or 6, 7% bounce here, it'll start to look like this candle, and that candle can then lead to buyers stepping in. So, you know, if this is going to push up higher into the weekend, it's worth watching tomorrow. Now, you still may be right? This, you know, if you're looking at the bearish side of things here, this is a bearish stop hunt. That might have just failed here, and if price is not able to reclaim this green line, well then, if it's not able to reclaim it, it's going to fail and roll over. So that's your line in the sand. If you, for example, tomorrow or the next day, or if you want to wait until a new 2 week, right? I don't know when you're looking to trade this or whatever, but you know, tomorrow's a possibility, right? However, I would only buy tomorrow if there's a bullish daily stop hunt. That might be a sign that this wants to reverse quick, because we're in a tight consolidation range. So if you get a bullish daily stop hunt tomorrow, you can long and put your stop below the stop hunt. Otherwise, I would probably wait for a new 2 week candle, because right now this is in a mess, right? But so one more point I want to make before I cut this off here, and I know I didn't really give you a definitive direction. I think sometimes you need to wait for the market clues in the definitive direction. Have a game plan, watch for the few possible playouts and have them in mind. And then when you get the chance, because this is just tight consolidation. The other thing is, you did say the bearish rollover first. Sometimes you do flush, right, below here, and then reclaim straight to the upside, right? Basically it runs stops, and then you get a short squeeze and it runs to the upside. So I would also have alarms set at this low, and also this low, to be honest, actually, because sometimes it's a less of a stop hunt, right? If it's extremely strong, you might only move to here, right? Stop hunt here and then go, because then you've got a higher low in the pattern, and the higher low structure can often also be very bullish. So yeah, personally, I would only get long tomorrow if there's a bullish daily stop hunt. Then otherwise I would wait for a new 2 week candle. This 3 day is only started today, and it is red. Okay, so that's partly why I would only take the trade if there is a bullish daily stop hunt, because we're already red on the 3 day, and sometimes when you're red it can stay red. So you want some sort of signal to indicate that this might want to flip green again. If it's going to flip green and move higher and close strong on the 2-week chart, that's a very good sign. Anyway, mate, sorry, 10 minutes on this video. I'll cut this off here, but I hope it helps.